So as you can see, I'm on the road again, but I want to take a second to let you guys know who are watching us here on YouTube. Make sure to listen to us on Spotify. You'll get an extended version of today's episode there every single Monday. Go check it out. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Weekend Media Podcast. I am Jordan Wheeler. This is Yes Way Jose, and we're back at it again. This man is an OG holding it down week after week after week. Thanks, man. What have you been doing? I feel like even though I talk to you every week, I feel like every time I'm talking to you, we're catching up about something. I did get, I don't necessarily want to say a promotion, but I did get a title change and a change in my job titles and what I'm doing at RTR Vehicles. So now I've transitioned into dealer development. So what I'm going to be doing now is working with the dealers all across the nation, all across the world, getting them set up with everything that they need to take care of the customers. I'll be working with all of our outside reps, getting them trained up. And then on top of that, I will be more focused on content with RTR. So I'll be getting in, traveling, doing a bunch of cool stuff with that. So people, whether you like it or not, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me.
That's so amazing, dude. First off, congratulations. Well deserved. Second, what are you most excited about in this position?
I don't know. I do a lot of traveling now. It's going to be a lot more traveling. So I'm not really sure. I think I've done a little bit of all of this already, but now it's just more zoned in as the team continues to grow. It just takes some stuff off of everybody's plate and then narrows it down. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this goes. I mean, we'll see. The biggest part of it is getting out there with the fans again and interacting with them, because that's always so much fun to be able to get out there and do. I tell people all the time that even though RTR is such a cool place and it's such a dream job for everybody, at the end of the day, it's still work. And you go through those moments where, you know what, maybe I'm fed up with something, or I'm like, I've had enough of this. I just want to take a break. And going out on the road gives you a full hardcore reset of your mental state, because you're not sitting there in the day-to-day. I'm not sitting here staring at a spreadsheet, hitting call after call after call. What I'm doing is I'm going out there and seeing the people that we are reaching and are affecting. And you see all the people that would love to be a part of this. And you see all the people who really value what we're doing as a company. And that just makes you go, well, dang, my job actually doesn't suck, and maybe I should just shut up and be thankful for what I get to do. So that's going to be neat to be able to get out there and come face to face with everybody again. I got to do it at the championship party, and it's neat. There's so many people there that I've known since I owned my first RTR, and now I'm talking to their children that are of legal driving age now. And it's crazy to watch these families grow, and that was something Vaughn has gotten to do over the years, and he's talked about. And now us as members of the RTR team, myself being one of the longest tenured members of RTR at this current moment in time on the RTR vehicle side, it's just cool to be able to experience that now. So it's kind of neat.
What's one of the biggest things you're most excited about next season?
For drifting?
For drifting.
So there's a few things. One is it's going to be interesting to see where the last round is, and if we can get Vaughn back behind the wheel to be a part of that. The other side is I'm really excited for what's going to happen with Ben Hobson this season. Ben had some moments in 2024 that you could see this dude was on one. He was starting to learn the car. He was getting really excited. He was out there doing great things, and his practices were going great. But when it came game time, there'd sometimes be some mistakes that we just couldn't recover from. But then there were times where dude was just on one, but we let him down with the car. And he's got a whole new chassis now, because before he was using what was Chelsea's old car. So now they've built a whole new chassis for him for 2025. Everything is set up exactly how this man wants it. And I really feel like he's going to come out and be on a tear this year. And I'm looking forward to that. And then when it comes to the championship side of things, of course, we'd always like to win championships and want to put it out there into the atmosphere that that's what we're going to do this year. But the other side of what I'm really excited for is the hope of winning a championship. You know, we all want to go out there with the goal of winning every single year. And James is a person that can easily repeat that because he has before. And I jokingly say that he's like the Michael Jordan of drifting. The dude is like the greatest ever to do it if you look at the stats and if you just look at his skill in general. But the last time he came back to Formula Drift, the man went and won 3 championships in a row. He was untouchable. Now he won last year in a dominating fashion. So it's just to see, can he repeat that and who's going to stop him? There are plenty of other drivers out there right now that are coming up and they're getting way, way better. So you got to be out on the lookout for them. Manoa, 14 years old, now 15 years old. Dude killed it last year. I expect him to come and do a repeat of that. Then you also have to look at some of the OGs. Chris Forsberg has 3 wins. Osbo has 3 wins. And they're all looking for that 4th now that James has it. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be able to grab that 4th and fight away from James. But again, you got people out there like Odi Bachis. He has never won a championship, and he was chasing James down the whole time. It came down to the end. It was him versus James. So he's never off the table. So there's so much to look forward to in the world of drifting that it's hard to pinpoint it just to one. So I'm just going to throw the whole kitchen sink at you. Now, I don't know if you know this. Well, of course you know this, Jose. You work at a Ford dealership. You got your My Ford Pass. You know, you go on there. You can find out where your vehicle is. You can unlock it. You can do a remote start. You got all these vitals on your vehicle, which I absolutely love and I utilize a lot of. And I also use that for my kids because then whenever they're out in one of our Ford vehicles, I know exactly where they are and it kind of helps. But the Toyota GR Corolla has something very, very similar. Downloaded the Toyota app. I could track the car. I could see what's going on. I could unlock everything. I could check my tire pressures, this and that. Today, open up the app to let Louisa into the car as I run back into the house to grab my keys. And it's not available to unlock the car anymore. This app is a service that you have to pay for. It's a subscription service. I can't even, inside my car now, I can't even access my navigation unless I hook up my phone and do Apple CarPlay. Yeah, everything got turned off. And it's like, if you would like to renew your service, click here. I didn't even look to see how much it was because I was so mad about the whole thing. But it's like, this is absolutely insane to me. I knew BMW was doing stuff like this with some of their features, which are absolutely stupid, whether it's in the seats or the navigation or any of the different apps within the vehicle. But I didn't know Toyota was doing that too. And my thing is, dude, I spent $50,000 on this freaking Corolla. And now I can't access some of these features on my phone, which I can do on any of my Fords. Like, come on.
I've never thought of that. Like, I thought it was just included in there.
Nope. I did too. I was one of those naive people that thought, hey, you know what? If Ford includes this on their vehicles and I'm able to access all of this stuff, it's going to be the same. I've never once had to pay for any of my maps or anything that I have on any of my Ford vehicles to be able to use any of that stuff. Now, why do I have to do it on this Toyota? Like, I don't think it should be done on any vehicle, but if your Toyota feels the need to do it, why is that not just a Lexus only thing? Why is it not available on your, I guess, entry level vehicles, even though the GR Corolla isn't entry level? But you know what I'm saying? Like the Toyota brand, which is meant to be the more affordable of the two brands, or at least have a dumbed down version of it. Like, I don't understand, like another manufacturer opens that up and has it for free. Why don't you offer it? So then here comes my worry now is, do I have to worry about Ford starting to charge me for these? Is this going to be something that Chevy does as well? Like, is this going to just start the stream of auto manufacturers feeling the need to put these options into cars that you can't have? Like, I get it. If you go to a dealership and you can't afford a premium vehicle, Okay, then there's some options that you don't get. Everybody knows that. But why build them into a vehicle and then make you pay to use something that you already own?
I don't understand it either because, for example, I'm gonna dog on it. Like Ford, a lot of people go in looking at like Mach-E's. They get the select, very bottom trim, entry level, but it's also already incorporated with Blue Cruise, and it's a 90-day trial period. So Blue Cruise, if for those that don't know what it is, it's hands-free assisted driving. So it's not autopilot per se, but it has the feature available. And then when, like you said, you get in there, you're like, dang, this is so cool. And then after like the no payments are done, you're like, wait, that was a subscription? Dude, now I gotta drive? Like, why even build this in? And I get a lot of those comments when people come back to the dealership and they're like, hey, this thing just ended. And I'm like, over there, talk to that guy.
Everything in life is getting so crazy with the subscriptions. It's like, okay, we were all tired of network television, cable television, having to pay for all of this stuff. So then, okay, along comes Netflix. And then along comes Prime. Well, we're going to carry some of the stuff on this app and then some of it on this app. Oh, but then wait, let's go ahead and start Paramount Plus so then that we can carry some of it over here. But for the other people that want to watch this, now you have to get Peacock. There's so many different apps now that you're paying for just to watch the shows that you want to see, that you might as well just go back to cable. And then now that's starting to roll into all the features of our life to where we're paying subscription services to use our own cars. This is absolutely insane. I remember my grandpa used to tell me that back in the day, he was born in I want to say he was born in 26 or 28, somewhere in there, 1926 or 1928. But when he was younger, he said that the steering wheel you had to pay extra for.
What? That was cool.
Which I thought was wild. And I thought that was crazy. But it kind of seems like we're getting back around to that now. So before you know it, we're going to have a subscription for our steering wheel too, for it to unlock. This is just, it blows my mind that not only have the price of vehicles gone up substantially, but now we have to pay individually for all of the services that are within there. You know, this is dumb.
It's up until the point where we start getting charged like $1 per like lane switch blinker.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Are you still there? Would you like to continue using your blinker? That'll be an additional $1.95, please. You know, another thing that I have been noticing lately is the simplification of social media. So when I say that is like on RTR vehicles, we can put out a video or a short that's extremely produced, took days to make. We chop it up, put it out there. The views are not even a quarter of what I will get on something if I just put it out there of the car revving. Perfect example. I got 10K views within the first hour of posting the video about the Spec 5 RTR getting washed. That to me blew my mind. Then we did a fully produced video around the new Mustang that we were working together with Ford. In the same amount of time, 500 views. I was like, what? The production value is greatly different between these two. So, hey, here's what I will say. If you're new to social media or you're trying to build your following, go simple. Do something fun, do something catchy, something that people like. I didn't even put music on some of this stuff. One of the videos that I did for RTR that got like, again, this isn't anything crazy, but like 23,000 views. We were just loading the car onto the truck. That was it.
Wow.
No music, no fancy cuts, just thing coming off the ramp and pulling into the truck. That was it.
See, it's the people think that you need like the big production value, like you need the big cameras. But in reality, like I said, it's just phone and like go shoot it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you got to do. It blows my mind. But again, it comes down to understanding the algorithm. And if you're the person that fits into that and you know how to work your magic, it changes the whole game for everybody. It's insane. For a while there, it was music.
It was music. then the captions to make it SEO relatable, and then the captions within the video, and then it
Before that, it was hashtags. And then I saw where for some people and some algorithms, it's based off of color. Like if there's certain colors that are used within videos that cause people to stop and look at them, those same colors, if you use them, will be fed to people based on the other videos that they like. So it's wild, the algorithms that they run through and what works for them and how they change them. And being able to spot that on the fly is just, hey, more power to people who have the ability to do that on a regular basis.
it was a literal video, like really well produced on like what is this one? A single cab. Those are popping. Got like 3K views. The next day I post a video of me like driving a Mustang with the DJI mics to the back so you can hear the audio. Freaking 500,000 views, and I'm like,
Yeah, dude, it's insane. But you know, it's the crazy game that we have to play and that we have to figure out on a regular basis to make any of this stuff work. So it's just insane. It's the same thing like with doing this podcast. It comes down to the tags, the title. You know, it's if you have a fun, catchy title that makes people stop and want to listen to you for, you know, half an hour. It's a crazy, crazy game that we're in the midst of and that we're weaving in and out of. But hey, you know what? We'll make it through and we'll be fine, and we'll have enough money to pay for our vehicle subscriptions so that we can turn on the heat in the winter. And then everybody's going to be fine.
or even headlights. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's next? Everybody used to make the joke about headlight fluid. Now it's going to be your headlight subscription. You know, do you have what it takes to be able to drive overnight? It's only going to cost you $19.95. I can tell you this: if there's a subscription service on CR1 Corvette and you got to pay like $300 a month to use the navigation on your $200,000 car, I'm gonna shit bricks and throw them at the building. Like, this is just absolutely insane.
Or if you want to, like, it caps you out at, it's capped at like 4K.
That would right there would be a bitch move. Like, oh, hey, sorry, you only paid for the 85 mile an hour package. If you would like to unleash more, here's what you do. But then it's going to tie back into these apps that dealers are talking about putting in there that are going to notify law enforcement when you're breaking the rules. Oh, well, hey, he paid for this subscription that takes him over 100 miles an hour, so I'm going to let the cops also know this. Here's one thing. We're starting to go over that half an hour mark, and there's one thing I want to close this out with. In our last podcast, you and I talked about myself taking my son out to the parking lot, teaching him how to drive in the snow and the ice, and how all of our safe spaces are going away. Just recently, there was a news report here in Houston about a car parking lot takeover and how the people in the Heights were upset and they were trying to get these things shut down, and how they're calling the police to do something about it. Multiple cars are being seen there. It's every Sunday at this time and every Thursday at that time. And everyone is calling the police, and the community keeps saying, all we ask is that you keep calling so we can have record of this. I'm watching this news report. They're calling it a takeover. I'm waiting to see someone sliding around, guns popping off, people doing stupid stuff. Dude, it was a car meet. It was chill. Nobody was doing burnouts. I didn't see any revving. They're filming this thing from a distance like it's some kind of expose, secretive guerrilla film style. It's a group of people just parked in the parking lot that show up to hang out with each other, look at their cars, and then be on their way. They're not disturbing anybody. And if that's what is happening there, I do apologize to the people of the Heights, because that's not what's being conveyed in this news report. These people are doing nothing, and you're trying to get these things shut down. Like, what is next? Like, why can't we just allow people to have a love of something and hang out and share that passion with one another? Why do we feel the need that we have to shut that down and cause a problem? If they're not hurting you, even I'll tell you this, Jose, too, as they're filming this, there's no houses around. You're seeing that people from a distance are zooming all the way in. There was one person who was complaining about filming that actually ran a stop sign while they were filming. It just blows my mind. Like, people, please, just give it a break. We like cars. Maybe that's not your thing, but seeing large groups of people together isn't always going to be a threat to you or your way of life. So if you could, please chill out. You know, that's all we ask.
And if you do see them doing shenanigans, then that's on them.
Just because you don't like something doesn't mean that it's something that you have to call the police about all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fan of Chihuahuas, but I'm not going to call the cops on my mom every time I see her walk down the street. I might, though. It could be funny. But that's a story for another time. Will I call the cops on my mom just because she walks down the street? I don't know. Give us 100 likes and I'll make it happen and we'll film it. So, hey, Jose, thank you so much for joining me here again this weekend. The boys are out sick and Wi-Fi-less. Isaac has just moved into his third house on his property of 40,000 acres. So he's doing a complete rebuild. It's a devastating time for him. And then, you know what? Brian Garcia in Tirado, his throat is sore. They think he might have pneumonia because he just out there sucking. But no, that's neither here nor there. Jose, thank you for being a part of this again. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Likewise, thank you for everything. And for those wondering, you guys can catch us on all social medias. Get this episode on what, Mondays?
Yeah, this episode dropped on Monday. If you want to watch the video for it, it's going to drop over on YouTube on Thursday. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, you know, all of it. All of it. Click like, follow, subscribe, whatever the button is, click it. Everybody likes clicking buttons. It's what we got to do to make this thing happen. So for Yes Way Jose, I am Jordan Wheeler. This has been the Weekend Media Podcast.